Let's get on with this. I'd like to beat this in time to, you know, be able to do something with my night.
"48 hours to do all this."
Good morning, Worm Drama. Worm Chat. Yo, I'm in a band! Smiley face, star. Hello from the room literally across from you. What's up, boys? Let's go! Good morning. Okay, so Caldera Fest. So you all got the spreadsheet I sent. Everyone knows their tasks? Eh? Oh, Reed, I need your email. Sorry, you're breaking up. That dude doesn't... That doesn't work on text, dude. LMAO. Reed, you're on equipment with me. Got to pick up from Lava Java. Roger that. Okay, great. Caldera Fest, we got this. Like we need an official starting word. Like, start! Spaghetti. I know what I'm having for dinner tonight. Focus, people. Give us the signal thing. Kick us off with good energy. Godspeed, worms. Hell yeah. Hey, if you're not too busy with color stuff, do you want to go out later? Tonight, I mean. Yeah. Okay, yay. Might have a little surprise planned for you. Nothing big. I think you'll like it. Hey, Warlord. Want to come over later? Duh. When, though? I just made plans with Naomi. I see how it is. Leaving me for the newer, cuter model. Yep, trading you in. Hang after we get the venue secured? Absolutely. See you later, nerd. Way too many emotes.
Looks like that's the last of it. So, you're really gonna do your own Caldera Fest, huh?
Yeah.
We are.
I knew you got it. Now is the perfect time for a concert. I mean, what else are we gonna do?
LJ. Do you want to come to Caldera Fest? I mean, our version of it.
Front row, kid.
Cool.
Progress check. Killing it. Obvs. Snacks are underway. All good here. Reed, what about you? Got this. We got the equipment from LJ. Awesome. I finished the itinerary. That's everything I said at the venue. We can start the setup proper. You know, I just noticed Naomi is one of the only people who uses proper grammar and like capitalization and punctuation. Amazing. Rose and I are on the roof getting all the plants arranged. I helped with Naomi's part. Kind of. She did most of it. Ah, we're really doing this. That van looks weird. Why does that van look weird? Because it's a dino van. I don't know.
Ugh. I hate this.
Or proper spelling, apparently, Mr. Red.
Sounds like everything's totally chill in here.
Can you help? I can't. I just hate all my clothes.
All of them? Because that's a lot of hate.
All of them. Oh my God. She told you.
So, what's the plan? You gonna kiss Naomi?
How
Out.
how do they kiss? Physically, how do they kiss? Ah, charcuterie board.
Yeah, sorry, these were the only blankets I could find, and I hope they're not too itchy.
And, like,
I also
breadsticks?
wasn't sure what you'd like, so I have 2 different kinds of juice, and I probably brought way too many snacks.
Oh, Eskimo kissing. I like it.
Do you like beetle rolls? I know some people are allergic.
Beetle rolls?
No, they're great. This is all so great.
Okay, good. Now, so you don't have to wear it, and it's totally cool if you don't. But we kept talking about your songs, and it just inspired me to make this outfit. But I know you probably want to wear your own thing for the show, but just in case. Anyway, I made you an outfit, but like, yeah, that's a surprise.
You made me an outfit. That's the coolest thing I have ever heard. Can I see it?
Yeah, I think that'll work.
Some of the stitches are crooked. I was trying to finish it in time. Do you like it?
Naomi, it's amazing. I am absolutely wearing this on stage.
Really? I'm glad you like it.
I really do. It's maybe the nicest gift someone has ever given me.
No. Okay, that's sweet. I'll give you that. That's sweeter than a kiss.
This is nice.
It is.
I guess something good came out of this terrible year.
It did. No thanks to the meteor.
Asteroid.
So, Oh, I told my parents about you.
You did?
They were happy, but got all weird and formal about it. My dad actually used the term paramour. And my mom opened a bottle of sparkling rhubarb wine.
Gross.
Maybe you can meet them sometime.
I'd like that.
After the concert.
So, can I ask you what you're thinking about? Is that annoying?
No, I mean, it's not annoying. I was just thinking about tomorrow. It's gonna be so cool to put on our own show.
You know, I think this is the best spot in the whole city. Even better than Lava Java.
I don't know. Lava Java's pretty special. Especially with you on stage.
Thanks. You too. I meant it was special playing up there.
Yes,
Playing for you.
because language.
Oh. Oh, our song! We never finished it.
Oh, yeah, I guess not. Wanna take a stab at it?
Sure.
We're gonna take control, won't say goodbye. We're never gonna forget.
That works.
You like it?
It's perfect. Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
you good?
Nothing's wrong. Well, actually, no. That's not true. I just got a call from Mom and Dad.
Okay.
They're still stuck. Everywhere's a no-fly zone, apparently. Something about falling debris and keeping the skies clear.
Okay. So when will they be back?
They don't know. Like, no one knows. Because I guess they might not ever. I don't know. It's bad. So, yeah. I'll be in the living room if you need me.
Hey, I hope you don't mind that I used your shampoo. Fang? Fang, what's wrong?
My parents aren't coming home, and planes aren't flying. And I might never see them again.
Wow. I'm so sorry, Fang. Gosh, I fully expected your mom and dad to be at Seafest, like, I don't know, telling us we're too loud or something.
Or that my armpits are showing. Remember that?
I wish I could just melt my brain for today. But I guess all I can do is just focus on the concert.
Melt brain. Just for today.
I've got drugs. Sorry.
Okay.
I think he's having a moment.
Closely in my eyes. Even in my eyes. It's not so bad. Walk outside. It's another blue. It's another blue.
You can fly.
Man. It sucks that the end of the world is so pretty.
Right? It's hard to feel like everything's gonna be gone when it looks so beautiful right now.
I love you guys.
Love you too, dude.
You too.
I think you should put them in front. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, accessible stuff's always off to the side. Yeah, it sucks. Mm-hmm. Hey, Stella, one sec. I gotta pick her up in a bit. You good to get to school?
Yeah, Reed's gonna be here soon.
Okay, great. Sorry, I know I promised breakfast, but I think... No, Fang. Yeah, mm-hmm.
I got it.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I'm still here.
Oh my god!
The Dark Wizards of Worm Drama.
Wait, that's... You did it! You actually did it!
Yeah, I kind of messed up the... you barely notice.
Honestly, this is incredible.
I mean, your design is doing all the work. But I guess all the scribbling for L&L paid off.
Will you get in the van before the world ends, please?
I'm admiring art.
Unbelievable.
No respect for your craft.
Where is everybody? Jesus. Don't ask that question. It was all just a dream. That'd be like 3 games in a row we played that could have that as an ending. Not that do, just that could. That's interesting. Oh, I just hope when it hits, it's quick. Alana's a sweetheart. We had a few classes together freshman year. Well, this time I think it's real. It's for real, so over. I'm surprised Tom's here instead of binging shows at home. Glad he came. Meteor, better wait till the concert's over. I swear to God. You can always count on Morgan to show up at a concert. Literally, like a week left in existence, you turds are still spoiling TV show finales in here. Let me have one thing. Marty's funny as hell, but I can never tell which of their posts are required for help. You think we'll be able to see it coming? They're pretty cool. Should have met them sooner this year. Why do we insist on posting when there's a situation? I don't know much about Sam, but I know he likes weird little creatures. I bet he'd love Mango. Do not go gently. Alexis is cool, but she's always felt like a literature professor in a teenager body. Maybe if we try hard enough, we can post our way out of this. I've never met anyone who exists at the perfect intersection of goth and jock, except for Damon. I'm on the outside because they shut down the last Fairy Tale 13 servers. If it was up to me, I'd be raiding until the meteor hit me personally. Chris and I are neighbors. We used to hang out as kids, but never let me left the house if they started playing last Fairy Tale 13. Haha, by the way. If I have to die on impact, I'm going to die looking cute. Danny's really active with her extracurriculars, but they're secretly a huge gamer. I have no idea where she finds time for it all. At least I'm here with you. My God, has Francisca finally told Mel they have feelings for her? Now's the time. I have crap in Pangea. Mel's one viral post away from being a full-fledged content creator. Being out here is better than wallowing in my room, I guess. Our mom's a friend, but we were never that close. We're not trapped under the meteor. The meteor's trapped here with us. I respect his antagonistic brand of optimism.
Ready to fight God?
Hi! Oh my gosh, you look amazing. I'd be scared of you if we weren't already friends. You're so hot!
How are you feeling?
Big-ish.
Big.
Yeah, it's packed out there!
I mean, that's what we wanted, right?
Right. Hey, did I rope you all into this? Did I make it all about me? My show?
Our show.
Wish Mom was here.
We're streaming this. They'll see it.
I think I need to call them. Nossiter, can you?
On it.
Mom?
Look at you.
Mom, not now, please.
Look wonderful. Very grown up. Very cool. This is a wonderful thing you are doing. Patricia, hello. Oh, look at you all.
Hi.
I'm sorry. It's time for the show to start.
Right. I have to go out first then. Gotta work the crowd.
Mom, Dad, we gotta go.
Love you.
I love you.
Play a good show, okay? Wait here, right here.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Bang! We each have something for you. For good luck.
Fang, for luck, I bestow upon you my most treasured, my most lucky, my most plastic gazpacho.
Oh, Sage. Thank you. I can't bring this on stage, though.
Oh, that's okay. I'll hold it for you. But the luck will be right here if you need it. You're safe with me, Spacho.
Want to see what the cards have in store for you out there?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Last one, probably.
Oh, I knew you'd get that card.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Really?
Yep, I rigged it. Hey, we're taking charge of our own destiny here.
The Wheel of Fortune is about the cycle of life and, like, continuous evolution. We've reached the biggest turning point in our lives. And everything going on right now, it's hard. This was supposed to be us celebrating the rest of our lives, and we probably won't get to see it. But just like the wheel, the world keeps turning, and life, finds a way. You held us
Oh my
realize
God.
that, Faye. You held tight to the here and now and kept us from spiraling out of control. We wouldn't all be here without you.
Stella,
Shush, 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 shush. Just take the card.
Yes, J-Ball.
My turn now. +1 to charisma.
Ah.
Yeah, I feel it.
Come here, dude. One more for the road.
As I say, Fang's about to lose all of their makeup here.
Wait!
Don't puke, don't puke.
Now I'm fully powered up.
Okay, we're good, we're good. I honestly thought, whoa, Jesus, that's loud. I thought it was gonna puke.
Tonight. Welcome to the last concert you'll ever see.
I hope not.
I'm dying to see worm drama right now. Am I right? That got dark. Who's ready for some music? For real though, thanks so much for coming out to our little show. It really means a lot to us. We live in a strange world. But right here, tonight, maybe it's ours. Now, while I have you here, I've prepared some spoken word poetry. Just fucking with you. I give you word drama!
I'm just watching, so I can actually appreciate what's happening. Why did you cut that sound off?
Thank you. Our next song is about going home.
Oh god, they're doing a full set, aren't they?
Was it worth it all? Was it worth it all? Was it worth it
No.
all? Worth it all? Backseat baby with the wind when you said goodbye, got my eyes up, baby, with the pulling tide. I did not know why my eyes
That is a huge cop out.
were sad.
I have to decide what that means from a review perspective.
Was it worth it all? Was it worth it all? Now we're back here, baby, never be alone.
I mean, it's
Never be alone. We know better, baby, than be on our own. And this inferno, why catch me apart? 'Cause I see you
if I knew it this close, I would have just pushed for the end.
right.
J. Palmer. The guy who voiced Reed also voiced Mango. Well, so, this is a strange question. God, this is really loud. I'll talk in a minute. In fact, I'll be right back.
I see you are my satellite. Now I'll catch you at night. Oh, I wanna be with you tonight. Now I wanna see you at night. Was it worth it all somehow? I got my eyes up, baby, and I need it. I got my eyes up, baby, and I need it now.
So. And yes, Lava Dude, especially given the falling down the stairs problem this game had in production. So, we as a group have to come up with an answer. And I know this is strange, but we have to decide if the asteroid hits in the game. And I stress the way I say that, because it doesn't matter what the devs say, right? A dev can walk in and say, yeah, this is a game about pumpkins and rainbows. It doesn't make it real. It doesn't make it true. What matters is what's in the game. So does it hit in the game? Because that's what everything hinges on, as far as the ending. Yeah, can we scroll this a little faster? This is fiction. It doesn't necessarily hit. Again, I'm sorry to make this point again. You have all kinds of dinosaurs from different periods roaming around a continent that doesn't even exist at that point in history when they were alive, with cell phones and cars and lattes, with plants and animals that did not exist at that point in time. Like, come on. This is fiction. That's how that works. So, no. That's what I'm waiting for, Leonard. Yeah, why would a dinosaur develop a guitar? Or fake fingernails, by the way. Or makeup. Hair. I keep going. Interesting. Actually, I do agree with that, Lord.
There was love. will always.
Okay, hang on. What happens if I hit continue right now? This is just the last scene. This isn't even a choice. It's just the last scene. Okay, goodbye. Hello, cat. Well, the problem is it matters for the purposes of a review. And if the point of the review, if the point of the work, let me be very clear about that, is make up your own mind, then that admittedly does irritate me. I'm not going to lie. If I wanted to go make up my own mind, I'd go write my own stories. Thank you. But if it actually did hit, well, we have other problems. Let's review by democracy. Shall we? Yeah, no, like this is something that's been building up pretty much the entire game. That is more or less the issue. Poll. This will be a really quick poll. I'm going to put it up for 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes to vote. Boom. Voot. While you do that, I've actually been doing some of the paperwork already. So, I don't really have, like, soft guitar music. I don't have, like, what's a song that's like so... I mean, I suppose that's fair, Bleacherball, but an answer of no means it's ambiguous. An answer of yes means it's definitive. I sure hope not, Jay Palmer, although so far my VODs haven't been hit, so I'm probably fine for the moment. Guitar. What's that Western JRPG? That I can't think of the name of right now. It's actually a series. Wild Arms. That's it. There it is. This will have to do. I mean, that's true, Linnea, I could. I'm going to tell you right now, if it hit, I've actually already written down all 9 negatives. I was planning to get that. That wasn't a joke. Plot, plot, plot. Theme, theme, theme. Tone, tone, tone. All under outro. I agree with you, Lo. And I rather famously hate the endings of Life of Strange. I was so mad. I was so mad right after I finished the rumination for Life is Strange, this is true. I walked upstairs to vent at my sister for like 20 minutes about how much I hated that ending. Those endings, I suppose I should say, but the ending. Just vitriol spewing out of my mouth. I was so angry. Life is Strange. By the way, Life is Strange's ending? Trolley problem. Just cutting back to that. I know we just voted, but honestly, I think I actually agree with the debate, the argument, the point, the perspective that because it's not actually in the game, because they didn't show anything, we cannot count it as hitting. That's important for the purposes of the review. So instead, I will give the ending 1 negative. We actually have plenty of precedents for non-endings because we reviewed a bunch of Souls-likes already. And pretty much every Souls-like ever has a non-ending. And that is usually a single negative for just being a nothing burger. It's like, okay. Moving on. Yeah, I get why they went this way. I really do. But, I don't remember Dark Souls 3's. So you might be right there, look. I legitimately don't remember Dark Souls 3, like, at all. I don't. It didn't sit in my head. I remember 1 pretty well. I remember 2 quite well. I remember Sekiro. I remember Bloodborne. I remember Elden Ring. I don't remember 3's. Dark Knight Rises' ending? So keeping in mind, I hated that film and have only seen it once. And I really hate giving opinions on something I've only seen or played once. But I hated the ending. Alright, so. Really, PB Good Fate. That's actually funny. Hang on. I need a song. And see, this is why my opinion has no validity. I'm not actually joking. I really do not like giving my opinion on something I've only seen once. It's the same reason I'm really curious if Chrono Cross will actually review well. Because I only played it once and I hated it. So, I don't know. Wait, Linking of the Flame is the normal ending? There we go. Ending. That was a large section about the ending. So, one of the speeches I was preparing to give was about why my opinion only has something to do with the review. Something I constantly am harassed about from everyone in the universe. Because just because I don't like something doesn't mean it's bad, right? Let me use the example I was going to use. Let's say that they're at the concert and the asteroid hits. And they're all dead and everything's dead and everything's gone forever. That would suck. That would be worthy of 9 negatives. However, if the tone and style and approach of the entire work was that bleak, was that horror, was that leaning into how life is meaningless and everything is awful and this is the direction it was going, it wouldn't be bad at that point. I'd hate it, but that wouldn't make it a bad ending, right? But in the face of this, I felt that it was completely inconsistent, both with the themes and with, frankly, just the very general approach of the entire game. The atmosphere of the game completely goes against that. Yeah, Dead Space 3 has one of the most horrifying endings I've ever seen in a game. And I do hate that ending, to be clear. But if I was to ever review Dead Space 3, knock on wood, I don't think I'm going to ding it for that. Yeah, it completely works against all the premise and all the build-up of the entire game. You get the idea. But in an open-ended ending, it's all about execution. Everything's about execution. No, Dead Space is one of those ones that's grandfathered in J. Palmer. One of the last horror games that's still in the books. Unless you just erase it. With an ambiguous ending. So hang on. Let's define here. Open-ended just means, and the story continues. That's really what open-ended means. It can mean a lot. That's the point. And that can work, depending on execution. Ambiguous means make up your own mind. And yeah, I don't care for ambiguous endings in general. Ambiguous amphibians were cool. But ambiguous endings, not a fan of it. And it really does feel like they just decided to stop rather than actually do anything. One way or the other. So if I need to commit suicide, that's the plan, huh, Spartan? Okay. Another thing I was going to bring up, which is still invalidated, but since I already did it, was that sometimes you have a really dark ending where someone dies. Oh my god, it's tragic, and they're dead, and the main character's dead. But that's not the end, is it? I would name examples, but literally any example I give would be a spoiler. But you could probably think of a few games. Please don't list examples in chat. We're trying to avoid spoilers. But you could probably think of examples in your head. Not on your fingers. Nope, nope. Take your fingers off the keyboard. Okay, and then up here. Okay, there we go. You can probably think of examples where there are games that have, the main character die or the main cast dies, whatever. It's not the end of the story, is it? There's stuff that keeps happening afterwards. In fact, a really good story, that sacrifice is remembered. It has some impact, right? The unknown hero dies, but in the process makes sure that things happen the way they need to. Who you are alone in the dark, etc., blah, blah, blah. There's an example I really want to mention that Ross knows what it is. I'm just going to say it that way, and that's about as much of a hint as you're getting out of me. Where, the ending is very much, the hero gets no reward for having gone through this horrific sacrifice and done all this work. But the point of the story is very, very clearly that it continues on from that point, right? It has impact, it has relevance, it has significance. Imagine for a moment if in Star Wars, A New Hope, they're going to fight the Death Star, and at the last second, they're going to bravely stand up against the Death Star, and they're going to do whatever they can, and then the Death Star destroys the entire galaxy, and all life is destroyed forever. Because that's pretty much the equivalent here. It's such an etch-a-sketch. It kind of bypasses most of the usual literary rules. Anyways, I'm not going to argue this anymore. It didn't land. We have an ambiguous ending. Moving on. Mostly optimization and bugs, look. The music was well done. Kennex Cow. That's how I'd rate the music. I gave it 2 positives. I stand by it. What do you want, Cat? What do you want? I once heard someone, this is an unrelated game, calling me a baby for wanting fiction that wasn't bleak. And it was honestly one of the funniest damn things I'd ever read. Like, the argument being that the only way to be able to properly be mature or an adult is to consume misery porn. Is a hell of a take, if you think about it. Why do you have more than one character in FF14, Spartan? Right. So Sub-Zero asked an earlier question. Not that it matters, because the asteroid didn't hit. But let's go ahead and answer that question. So, in another game, there's a spoiler, which I'm just going to step over for people not reading chat. And I dinged the game for that, for the fact that they did that. No, it didn't, Sub-Zero. Or maybe it did, we don't know. But if the asteroid had hit in this game, I honestly don't even understand how you're comparing these 2 points, so forgive me for trying to come at this laterally here. So let's say the difference, no analogies, let's just cut straight through it. The difference is this entire game has been about choices, self, identity, living in the moment, figuring out yourself, figuring out your future, yada, 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 right? None of that really sits with the lines of, by the way, nothing matters and nothing you ever did will ever have any relevance ever. It flies directly in the narrative face of what the entire game has been about. It is tonally dissonant at every single point, step, and tone, right? By contrast, the spoiler thing we already mentioned has nothing to do with this on any level. That is, the hero does something, and it's a powerful moment, and it does a good thing with it, and then it undoes that. These are steaks and pies. I don't actually understand why you're making this comparison point. If you want to clarify, I'd love that, because I don't actually get it. Now, it could be argued that this game should have bleak ending, that it should be about how all life is meaningless and we are totally powerless to do anything about anything, and we should all accept our fates and go kill ourselves immediately. And that might have been the actual point of the work. And if it was, that sucks, but I couldn't actually ding the game having an ending that is concurrent with that point. But it kind of doesn't have that point, right? The whole game is more about a celebration of life than anything else. And then everyone's dead. Everything is dead. Etch-a-sketch, end of the world. Gone. No trace. No history. No future. Even in the bad ending of Mass Effect 3, Liara's like cast into the future technology thing is eventually found by the next generation, right? Like, it doesn't work. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work in this case. But again, asteroid didn't hit. We're going to move on. I have yammered about this ending too much. Let me look over the audit sheet. Here we go. So we actually, believe it or not, we've actually covered quite a few visual novels at this point in time. Although some of these are debatable. But I do stand by games like, oh, sure. I do stand by games like Once Upon a Jester and Pentiment qualifying as visual novels, because let's be honest, they are. But yeah, since I did actually write this up, and I quote myself, After all that, after the entire game, after everything, the asteroid hits and kills everyone, wiping everything out. No trace or anything of anyone or anything surviving. First of all, that's a goddamn terrible feeling. In fact, it's actively worse than the entire game being a dream sequence, because at least in the case of this, it was all just a dream, the dreamer retains the events of the story. But in this case, it is a needless gut punch out of nowhere. Misery porn for the sake of misery. Also, it totally violates the theme of the work, making something of your life, and there's no point or purpose in doing anything or making anything if it's all going to end tomorrow in a way that erases all records of it having ever existed. That's not only tonally dissonant, but it also completely contrasts the atmosphere and vibe of the entire work. There are several tones throughout. The everyday vibe, the how do you face adversity vibe, the how do you make moments count vibe, and all of that is thrown out the window in favor of straight, hopeless, pointless, bleak despair. Screw the stupid ending, 9 negatives. That was the write-up, which I jotted down during the lunch break, because I thought that's where this was going, and I like to have my work ready for me. I like to be thorough. Anyways, okay, so animation. Nope, animation kind of sucks, actually. Let's see here. Wait, Telltale games aren't video games? What? Atmosphere and tone. It's about the journey. Bullshit. Let's see here. Nah. Level 5 effect, no. Background lore, no. Banter, no. Adventure narrative, no. Brickwork, no. Camera work, no. Characters, I gave a lot of character positives, actually. I actually gave a damn about several of these characters. Go figure. Egg on my face. Consummate storytelling, cutscene incompetence. No doodads to speak of. Positive for replayability? Oh, that's a good point. I would like to argue a negative for replayability. Anyone want to contradict that? Well, we're not to gameplay yet, but I'll get there soon. Who ended up being my favorite? Ooh, that's a tough one. It really should be Naomi, but it isn't, because I swear to God, Naomi is 2 characters crammed into one. Anybody else get that vibe? It was one of the negatives I've done. I think it's negative 5 and 6 specifically. Because, right? It feels like Naomi is literally 2 completely distant characters who were just smashed into one during the major rewrite that they did. Because they were very far into production, did a major release and major announcement, and then fired the main narrative director, and then had to basically scrap the story and start over. And by God, it shows. Like, there's a lot of holes. Let's see. So, sorry. I didn't actually answer your question. Naomi should have been it, isn't. Instead, I think I'm going to go with Nasser, probably for legal reasons. A combination of Nasser and Fang. I know. The siblings, but no, I stand by that. The brother who was a bro, and the musician who is just trying to figure themselves out. Probably Dakota. I wonder if the original ending... Let's see. Yes, Cat, I know. Oh yeah. Nah, it doesn't matter. I was just gonna make fun of Star Trek Generations while we're here. I prefer to think of time as a companion who punches me in the face to remind me of how grateful I had to be of not being punched in the face. Look, I'm sorry. Really. That film sucks. I did, Spartan, and you're still insane. Normally I'd show you a speedrun of this. Is there a speedrun? Really isn't. 10 minutes, or was it 15? It's a decent chunk of time, of Generations is a fantastic film. Yeah, there's no speedrun of this game, I don't think so. I've never disagreed with that, not since I first saw it in the theaters. And there's the rest of the film. A rushed and very troubled development by people who did not know what they were doing, who were trying to make 3 separate other shows concurrently, while running into set issues, and prop issues, and costuming issues, and lighting issues. It is a miracle Generations isn't worse. I mean, there's speedruns of Ace Attorney. I guess that has gameplay to it, or rather more gameplay to it. Look, you're the one making a second character, Spartan. Don't look at me. You're the weirdo here. Everyone point and laugh at Spartan for making a second character in Final Fantasy XIV. I'm joking. Don't actually do that. You know what? Hang on. I mean, not really. Chill, Pangolin. God of War 5, I think, has the most character positive we've ever gotten. I could check if you want, if you give me a minute. You know what song really fits this game? As I just realized it. There we go. You know what this game reminds me of? Of course, Oblivion. And is kind of in the same boat, really. I overliked it, but that ending, man. You asked me about characters. What's the most characters positives we've given? Well, Valhalla got 13 character positives. Tales from the Borderlands got 13 character positives. Pentiment got 10. Tales of Arise got quite a few. I'm a little surprised by that. Final Fantasy 16 got quite a few. But I'm not sure if anything beats anything that isn't an MMO. Because FF14 has 127. I don't think anything but that isn't an MMO beats Mass Effect 2 in terms of character positives. Which I stand by, for the record. God of War 5 had a bunch. God, I forgot. We give out a lot of character positives, don't we? There's Mass Effect 2. What's that? Diablo 3. Yep, stand by that one. Baldur's Gate 3, obvious. Dragon Age Origins. Yep. Dragon Age 2. Dragon Age Inquisition. I already mentioned FF16. Paper Mario 2. StarCraft 2. And yeah, that's all of them. I mean, I'm not sure I agree with that, Sub-Zero. If nothing matters, we really should just kill ourselves and get it over with. What's the point? It has to matter. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. It's kind of baked into the term. Alright. I don't think the gameplay audit is going to take very long. Let me just run through this really quick. Yes, there's none of this exists. There's no overworld. There's no party AI. There's no power progression curve. Oh, right. Replayability. Negative. I actually need to answer Sub-Zero's other half of that question, but let me finish this really quick. Let's see. Oh, it has a skip dialogue version. But what it does not have is a skip cutscenes button. I wrote it up right there. It's negative number 7. This is going to sound strange, but you can only skip dialogue. Which is pretty bad when you consider... So basically, any moment that has animation, you can't skip. So let me try to describe this. Animation plays. Animation plays. Skip, 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 skip. Animation plays. Transition. I actually discovered this earlier when I was testing out the checkpoint system. Would I recommend this game? No. Not at all. Speaking of... Alright, hang on. Before I tally this up, let me look at Sub-Zero's question. Wouldn't the story with the asteroid hitting still work as human moments facing impending doom, and those moments have mattered when it hits? I can't see how... Like, legitimately, I can't process how that would work. Like, in almost every... I was thinking about this. In almost every story, and I can't name examples because I don't want to spoil, but in almost every story where something bad happens, some big cataclysm or some big tragedy or some big death or whatever, there's a day after, right? Things matter past the point of tragedy. It's something I talk about a lot. It's the difference between bittersweet and bleak is where the sentence ends, is how I like to describe it. If the end of the sentence is rocks fall and they all die, then that's the end of the sentence. There is nothing past that point, right? So all of this is kind of invalidated by the fact that that's the end of the sentence, if that makes any sense. It's why, actually, it's very rare for fiction to pull this. There's a reason why rocks fall, everyone dies is almost universally considered a bad narrative trope. Because, yeah, there needs to be a and then. There needs to be another part of the sentence, or there needs to be another sentence or something, right? In real life, you could argue that there is nothing after the end of the sentence. That's valid. I have no idea. But in fiction, things are different. I love it, Blade Taval. Perfect. And then we'll go to war for oil. Yeah, it's the difference between a period and a semicolon. That's actually a really truncated and efficient way to put that. Like, okay, you know what? I just thought of an example I could use that isn't spoiling. Imagine if the ending of Majora's Mask was the moon hitting. The end. I didn't time that on purpose, I swear. Really, for those of you familiar with Majora's Mask, really picture how much that would completely change that game. How much that would just throw so much of that game right out the window. If the moon comes down and then smash, the end. I don't believe you, Ross. I don't think even you hate that game. I don't think even you hate that game that much. Imagine if in Ocarina of Time, after the third dungeon, you go to confront Ganondorf, and he's like, and he seals you away in crystal. The end. Like, I haven't played this game. I know exactly how to cut here. It would suck because there's a whole reason. There's a whole line of thought for why you don't end a story on Rocks Fall and Everyone Dies. It's why Neverwinter Nights 2's ending sucked so badly. By the way, spoilers, Neverwinter Nights 2's vanilla ending ends with Rocks Fall, Everyone Dies. Literally, by the way. It was panned. For years, I hammered on that point because people kept coming at me saying, is Mass Effect 3 the worst game ending you've ever seen? And I kept saying no. Because I've played Neverwinter Nights 2. It's even worse. It is so much worse. If I ever review that game, knock on wood again, I will smash it into the ground for that ending. Yes, I know the expansion then undid it. That doesn't change the fact that the ending's there. Anyways, sorry. Getting off topic. Let me tally. Oh god, that's an even better example. Imagine if in Dragon Age Origins, the ending, the only ending, by the way, imagine if the only ending of Dragon Age Origins was, and then you're all killed. The Blight wins and runs over for Eldon. The end. You die to the Archdemon. The last shot is like the land twisting and warping as it's slowly rotting under the Blight. The end. Oh, that would be terrible. Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah, Blade to Watson, another way to put it. Well, see, that's my point. Again, I'm trying not to spoil, but you can see how a lot of games do have some kind of thing related to this, but it's a semicolon, to quote Bregman. It's a semicolon, not a period. Oof. God, yeah, you're playing Chrono Trigger, and then you get to the future, and then the world dies. The end. Luca falls to her feet. This can't be the way the world ends. And it just slowly fades to black. The end. Oh my god, there's so many we could do this with. Oof. Yeah, imagine if "and the future refused to change" was the only ending. Is really what that boils down to. Where's my notes? Yeah, there. Damn it, Mr. Red. Ah, no! You still need to play Gothic, Mr. Red. You know you want to. Wow, 54% of players have finished the game. That's actually really impressive. No, I'm dead serious. That is high. That is way above average. I mean, I like Dark Chronicles for what it is. Not on a gameplay axis. I always forget how absolutely frustrating that DLC is to play. Well, that's a good question, Breakfast Sampler. Although I don't agree with your assertion because, to use Chrono Trigger as the example, nothing anywhere indicates that we can do anything about that until after we've decided not to give up. I thought about that too, though. So I'm going to go ahead and push back against Breakfast Sampler. Oh, I know. Jump back. Hopefully, it's not true. So, the problem here is that they've introduced such a fantastical setting that they could kind of have done whatever they wanted to and had the asteroid not hit. The answer that came to my mind immediately, the easiest, simplest answer, is that the asteroid doesn't hit. It comes close, grazes, it'll still cause the electromagnetic interference. It'll still cause the aurora borealis. It'll still cause some damage as it's going by, and then it goes by. It missed. The odds of that happening are actually pretty high, all things considered. So that's your simplest, easiest way to make that happen. People weren't 100% sure if it was going to hit. It didn't hit. We're done. That's it. That would have taken... Oh, yeah, exactly, Dream Wizard. Like, they would have taken very little effort to do. Now, the asteroid hitting the atmosphere would still raise the temperature of the atmosphere and cause all kinds of problems, but it's whatever. Fiction. This is already a nonsense fantasy setting. There's no reason we can't just take it another step and say, sure. Like, you don't have to have them have a ray gun or be able to send Bruce Willis up into space with a nuke to be able to deal with it. Although nobody had an issue with that in that movie either, while we're on the topic. Let's wrap this up. So, goodbye Volcano High. +20 to story. That probably sounds pretty high, all things considered. In fact, I imagine at least some of you in chat are having hackles about that. If it makes you feel any better, that's actually below average for a visual novel. It's a visual novel. Right? Like, visual novels live and breathe on their story axis. We've covered games with 50s and 70s in their plus to story. So, 20 is not bad, it's just, it's not as high as it could be. That is 2.5 pluses per hour, and a story ratio of 77%. Yeah, Valhalla is a great example of that. Valhalla, for reference, had less pluses per hour at 1.6, but had a ratio of 97%. Actually, Tales from the Borderlands is our actual peak right now, but really good Telltale game. If you ever play one Telltale game, play Tales from the Borderlands. Not even joking. Resurgence got plus 31, which still beats this by a decent chunk. I actually agree with Kennex Cow. Weirdly enough, the best parts of the game for me were the Legends and Lore sections, and not because of branding, because they were fun, simple, easy. Your choices actually changed things. But also, I really felt like the art style and the approach to storytelling worked a lot better there. Legitimately. Having the narrator pop in as a narrator, having Reed narrate the adventure, having the other players kind of chime in like, oh, I want to do this, and occasionally bouncing back and forth between the game and the people. It was a good narrative medium. They did some good stuff with it. Every single one of those moments got their own positives. Make of that what you will. Anyways. Gameplay. -6. Okay. Once again, context. Visual novels are not known for their gameplay. In fact, the highest game we've ever covered, visual novel with a decent gameplay score, is Citizen Sleeper, which I know is asterisky, but I stand by it. And even that only got a +9 total on gameplay, mostly because it kind of started falling apart pretty far in. So, -6, that is about half a negative per hour and a ratio of 20%. There were a couple of decent gameplay things, and then there was everything else. Giving us our final golden number. Yeah, Valhalla actually did score better on gameplay. Giving us our final golden number of... Can I get a drum roll, please? $14.21. Yeah, exactly, Lava Dude. You need to have choice gameplay in a visual novel, in my honest opinion. And there's a huge gradient of how much choice gameplay there is, and how good of a choice gameplay there is throughout that course. So that looks like that's going towards Echt Klug. Now, hang on. I'm not quite done. I know a lot of you just filter out just giving the score, blah, blah, blah. Let me give X things down here with it, because it's towards the PMD block. Undertale Yellow. And Entropy 02. Okay. Congrats, Ect, even though you're not here. I want to address two more things before I move forwards. First of all, usually indie games like this are kind of a shoe-in for a category that we have on the LGAs, which is labor of love. I don't feel it on this one. And I admit that is at least partially inspired by having read up a substantial amount on the behind the scenes, the years they spent on this, the massive rewrites it had to go through, the marketing campaign that fell completely apart, the counter campaign, the counter campaign. Yeah, exactly. Like, it felt like this game probably started from a perspective of love, a labor of love, and then wasn't by the end. Was something they were just trying to push out the door. Someone type !! next really quick for me, please. Actually, yeah, Lord Hermod, it feels like this really should be more a labor of love than it is. So I'm not going to be nominating it personally for the LGS. You can, of course. You guys can nominate whatever you want for that. As a reminder, you can type ! LGA to see the current list of nominations and categories. Thank you. The second thing I wanted to comment on is someone asked if I'd recommend this game, and my answer is no. For two reasons. One is the ending. Regardless of everything else, I don't think the ending works, right? Like, I don't want to go down the asteroid hate. Like, that's irrelevant. The ending that is in the game and is on screen is a very unsatisfying ending. They put on their last concert, the end. Okay. You have just spent, what was it, 8 hours, I think? Establishing and developing these characters and the setting, the world, and dynamics, and then, okay, goodbye. Go home. What? This feels like chapter 1, if anything. And I feel like I can't give a blanket recommendation for a game like that. Especially since of point number 2. I actually know quite a few people who pretty much can't watch fiction like this. It would simply be too bleak. Because the automatic presumption quite a few people would have going through this would be that the asteroid's going to hit, and that's just too much. That's just something that's hanging over the head of the entire work. Yeah, of course you can, Wolverine. It's editable. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm honestly kind of with Chill Pangolin. There was a much more natural end point when they were at the beach earlier. And I actually thought that was the ending. I was actually reaching to close off the guessing game when we got to that scene. And then it kept going. And I was just like, oh. Okay. Strange. I haven't actually played Broken Age Loop. So, it's hard to recommend a game that's probably never getting a sequel, for obvious reasons, and doesn't... It feels like teasing, right? It feels like it's a taste. Like, okay, I have this giant, beautiful pie. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, but it looks good, right? It smells good. And you want to eat this pie. So you go, and I'm like, okay, I'll give you a taste of the pie. And you're like, oh, this is good. And then I throw the rest of the pie into the trash. That's what this game feels like. And I think that's a good enough of a review as I could have ever done. I'm curious what this company is doing after this point in time, because, yeah. I'm going to chop off and get some paperwork done. Tomorrow, we'll be playing Total War Pharaohs. That should be interesting. I have no idea how long that's going to be. So, we'll see. And I'll see you.